Today let us discuss about drug and alcohol abuse. In the last classes, we have discussed about some of the diseases. We studied about what is immunity. We studied about the structure of antibody. We studied about the lymphoid organs. And we also studied about certain diseases like HIV and cancer in detail. Now today, let us discuss about what is a drug and what is a drug abuse. Now, let's see first what is a drug. It's a quite familiar word which you all must have heard, and we use it in our day to day life. And whenever we hear the word drug, what comes to our mind? It's the medicines that we take. Of course, drugs are medicines. Usually, drugs are medicines. But sometimes, when these drugs are misused or abused, what happens is it affects our body functioning. That is what we call as drug abuse. So, in this topic, we'll be discussing about what is a drug, what is drug abuse, and what are the different types of drugs which are commonly abused. So, this is what we'll be discussing. So, let's see first what is a drug. A drug is nothing but a chemical substance. As you know, it's a chemical substance. And if this chemical substance is consumed, when a person consumes this chemical substance in the form of a liquid, in the form of a tablet, or in the form of a powder, what happens is it affects the body's functioning, physiological functioning, as well as psychological functioning. So, if this chemical substance brings about a change in the body's physiological functioning or psychological functioning, we call that substance as a drug. So, we can define drug as a drug is any substance that causes a change in an organism's physiology or psychology when consumed. Hope you got it. So, what is a drug? It's nothing but chemical substance. Of course, it's a chemical substance which may bring about a change in one's physiology or psychology when it is taken. Okay, so that is a drug. Now, let's see what is drug abuse. Now, drug abuse is when these drugs, that is, when these chemical substances are taken for a purpose other than medicinal use. When we take, as I've told you, drugs are usually taken for a medicinal purpose. When this drug is taken for a purpose other than medicinal use, not only that, if it is used in excess quantity or if it is used more number of times, then it impairs or then it adversely affects one's physiological functioning, physical functioning, as well as psychological functioning. That is what we call as drug abuse. Hope you got. What is drug abuse? When the drugs are taken for a purpose other than medicinal use, very important, when it is used as a medicine, when it is used for a medicinal purpose, we do not say that it is drug abuse. For example, when you get a fever, you will be given some tablets. For example, a paracetamol tablet will be given to you. Now, this paracetamol tablet, the doctor clearly tells you you have to take after 6 hours, or you have to take thrice a day, or you have to take twice a day. That is what is called as frequency. And you have to take a 650 mg tablet or a 500 mg tablet. So that is the number. The number denotes the quantity, and the number of times that you take denotes the frequency. When you take this paracetamol itself in excess amount or excess number of times, more than the required number of times, it becomes drug abuse. Now, why is it called as drug abuse? Because when it is taken in exact adequate quantity and adequate amount frequency, what happens is it gives you some sort of relief for the illness for which you are taking the drug. But when it is used in excess amount, when it is used in more number of times, what happens is it becomes drug abuse. Why? Because it affects your body's functioning. It affects your physical. There will be some physical changes in your body. There will be some physiological changes in your body. The same way, there will be some psychological changes in your body. When all these changes happens in our body, that too in an adverse manner, we call it We call it as drug abuse. Hope you got it, right? So once again, how can we define drug abuse? When drugs are taken for a purpose other than medicinal use, or in frequency or amounts that impairs means which adversely affects one's physical, physiological or psychological functioning. We call that as drug abuse. Hope it's clear. Okay. Now let's see some of the commonly abused drugs. Some of the commonly abused drugs are of different types. For example, some drugs are used as sedatives. Sedatives means it slows down your nervous system, and it gives you relief from pain, or it allows you to sleep. It calms down your body. That is a sedative, a sedation effect, sedative effect. So some drugs are sedatives. Some other drugs act as stimulants, means what? Which enhances your body functioning. Some act as stimulants. Whereas some other drugs act as tranquilizers, make you unconscious. Tranquilizers means which makes you unconscious. For example, when operation has to be done, a person has to be given with anesthesia, so that is a tranquilizer. So these are the different types of drugs, are different types, like some drugs which are used as sedatives, some are used as stimulants, some are used as tranquilizers. The sedatives itself are used sometimes as depressants means for people who are hyperactive, sometimes those who have mental disturbances. For them, this kind of depressants are given. Now, these drugs are the commonly abused drugs basically can be divided into three different categories, which are they? The first one, opioids. The second one, cannabinoids. And the third one, coca alkaloids. So these are the three commonly abused drugs, which are they? Opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloids. Hope you got it. So you have to remember these three names in your textbook. Only you have to study only about these three different types of abused drugs. One is opioids, second one cannabinoids, and the third one coca alkaloids. Now let's study about each one of these. The first one, opioids. Now, opioids, they are the drugs which are commonly used as a depressant. Depressant means which usually slows down your functioning of the central nervous system. And in our central nervous system, as well as in our gastrointestinal tract, there are certain chemicals, there are certain receptors which receive these chemicals. So, opioids bind to the opioid receptors which are found in the CNS and the GIT. What is CNS? Central Nervous System. And what is GIT? Gastrointestinal tract. So opioids are the chemicals which bind to opioid receptors which are found in central nervous system as well as gastrointestinal tract. So from this it's very clear, this chemicals will be affecting the nervous system as well as the digestive system. Now, a very common example of an opioid which you have to study is heroin. Heroin. It's not heroin, even though the spelling is Heroin. Heroin spelling is Heroine. Okay, you know who is a heroine. Here it is heroin. Heroin, which is commonly called as smack. It is not a snack. So you are familiar with the word snack, but this is smack. SMACK. You have to remember both. Why? Because for the exam, they may ask, name the opioid which is commonly called as smack. Then you should know it is heroin. Okay. Now, what is this heroin? You have you heard about heroin? Yes, it's a drug which is widely used by youngsters. Now, this heroin is used. It can be used for medicinal purpose. At the same time, it is also abused. Now, this heroin is obtained from a plant, from the latex of a plant by name Papaver somniferum. You can see here, it is obtained from the latex of poppy plant. Its name is Papaver somniferum. Now, when it is extracted as a chemical by name morphine. Morphine is a chemical which is extracted from this Papaver plant. Now, this morphine, after acetylation, it becomes diacetyl morphine. So diacetylmorphine is what we call as heroin. Hope it's clear. So heroin is chemically what? Diacetylmorphine, and it is extracted from which plant? Papaver somniferum, which is also called as poppy plant. Now, this heroin acts as a depressant. Depressant means what? Which slows down, which calms down the body functioning. So this is commonly used as a drug for medicinal purpose by those people who suffer from mental illness. Okay, not only that, this chemical morphine, so heroin is used as a depressant. The chemical morphine is used as a sedative and a painkiller before every operation, or for those people who are in post-operative wards after operation. Right, the person will be having pain. So, in order to reduce the pain, what is given is this opioid, that is morphine. Morphine injections or morphine tablets are given as painkillers so that the person who has undergone the operation do not feel that pain. Okay, so that is morphine is a very effective sedative and a painkiller. So these are some of the points of opioids that you have to remember. One of the most commonly abused drugs. Okay. Now, so it binds to specific opioid receptors found in the central nervous system and the gastrointestinal tract. Example is heroin. Then it is chemically diacetylmorphine. It is obtained from a poppy plant which is called as Papaver somniferum. You have to remember this name, Papaver somniferum. Now it acts as a depressant and it slows down the body functions. It is a very effective sedative and a painkiller. So you may get a question, name the chemical which is used as a sedative and a painkiller. Your answer will be morphine. Okay. Now we will move on to the second group of drugs which are commonly abused. They are the cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are the drugs which interact with the cannabinoid receptors. Just like opioid receptors, there are certain cannabinoid receptors also in our body. They are specifically found in the brain, whereas opioid receptors are found in the central nervous system, the whole central nervous system, as well as the gastrointestinal tract, whereas cannabinoids are found only in the brain. So these chemicals come and interact or bind with the cannabinoid receptors found in the brain. Now, these cannabinoids, they are obtained from a plant by name Cannabis sativa. The plant name is Cannabis sativa. The inflorescence of this plant is used for extracting this cannabinoid. And the inflorescence means a bunch of flowers. Not only that, sometimes the leaves and resins are also used. And the cannabinoids, they come in different forms as different products. Now, this cannabinoids, they have a different effect on the cardiovascular system of our body. Cardiovascular system means the blood circulation, circulatory system of our body. It enhances the BP, it enhances the heartbeat rate, and all that. That is why its effect is mainly adverse effect. It adversely affects the cardiovascular system of our body. Then, another important action of cannabinoid is cannabinoids are actually depressants with a stimulant and a hallucinogenic effect. It is actually a depressant, but it has two more effects. That is, it sometimes acts as a stimulant, sometimes it has act as a hallucinogen. So cannabinoids are depressants with stimulative and hallucinogenic properties. Now, depression, as I've told you, what is the function of a depressant? It slows down the body functions. Now, it acts as a stimulant also. So in some people, cannabinoids act as a depressant. It slows down the body functions. Whereas in some other people, it acts as a stimulant. It acts as a stimulant in the sense it increases their energy level, gives them a sense of euphoria. Euphoria means a sense of happiness, self-confidence, a well-being. When they take these chemicals, they feel happy. They feel a sort of well-being. They get pleasure by taking this cannabinoids. Okay, and sometimes it gives you a hallucinogenic effect also. Now, what is a hallucinogenic effect? Hallucinogenic effect is nothing but an experience in which you see, smell, hear, or taste, or sometimes feel something that does not exist. So hallucinogenic effect or hallucinogens are those chemicals which gives you an experience, which helps you to experience something which is not there. For example, actually there will be no smell of jasmine, but after taking this cannabinoid, you may sometimes feel that there is a smell of jasmine, or you hear something, somebody is calling you, you hear their voice, but actually nobody is calling you. So something which is not present, you hear that, or you feel that, or you see that. That effect is called as hallucinogenic effect. So cannabinoids are actually depressants, but sometimes they give you a stimulating effect as well as a hallucinogenic effect. Okay, now this cannabinoids are usually taken by inhalation or oral ingestion. Means it is either through nose or through mouth. It is usually taken. There are different products of cannabinoids. They are marijuana. Marijuana. It's marijuana. It's not marijuana. J is silent here. It is marijuana, hashish, ganja, and charas. These are some of the examples of cannabinoids. Hope it's clear. So what are cannabinoids? Cannabinoids are chemicals which binds with the cannabinoid receptors found in the brain. It is obtained from the inflorescence of the plant cannabis sativa. There are different products. Different products are produced from this cannabis sativa. They are examples are marijuana, hashish, ganja, charas, etc. They are taken in different forms. Then they have an adverse effect on the cardiovascular system, and this is it acts as a depressant with a stimulative and hallucinogenic effect. It acts as a depressant, and sometimes it acts as a stimulant, sometimes it acts as a hallucinogen. Okay, so that's all about cannabinoids. Now coming to the next, that is coca alkaloids. Coca alkaloids are commonly called as cocaine. Cocaine. You must have heard cocaine, smuggling of cocaine. Most of the movies which you have watched, you must have seen smuggling of cocaine. Now, cocaine or coca alkaloids are commonly called as coke or crack. What is it called as? Coke or crack. Then, it is obtained from a plant by name Erythroxylum coca. Which is that plant? Erythroxylum coca. Here you can see Erythroxylum coca, which is commonly called as coca plant. Now, this cocaine also acts on the CNS. CNS means central nervous system. But here, cocaine act as a stimulant with the hallucinogenic property. They are they act as stimulants. The first group, that is opioids, act as depressants, whereas coca alkaloids or cocaine act as stimulants. It always give you an increased energy level. It stimulates your body functioning. You will be always in a higher level, always in you will be alert, you will be self confident, you will be feeling happy. You get a sense of euphoria. When you take cocaine, you get a feeling of euphoria or a sense of happiness. You feel confident, you feel well, you feel happy. Okay, so that is an increased energy level. Then excessive doses, if you take normal doses, you feel it acts as a stimulant, but excessive dose of cocaine acts as a hallucinogen. As I've told you, hallucinogens are nothing but an experience in which you feel, you smell, you hear, or you taste something which is actually that does not exist. Actually, that does not exist, but you feel that. One example I can give you: sometimes after taking this drug, you feel that some bugs are moving all over your body. Actually, there will be no bugs, there will be no insects on your body, but you feel that. Sometimes you feel that ghost is chasing you, you hear the voice of a ghost. Okay, so all these, whatever you think, right, that you feel. So that is and you must have seen in movies at least, this cocaine is usually taken either in the form of injections or in the form of inhale. They snort it, right? It's a it's a powder, and it will be inhaled through the nose. Sometimes it is injected. Okay, and all these things are done in the case of colleges. Take the example of a college, right? This exchange of cocaine or using of cocaine will be done in toilets, right? And in a toilet, when they use that, they feel that they are sitting in a luxurious bed in a luxurious hotel room. That is the way they sit. You must have watched that in some movies, right? So this gives you a sense of euphoria, that is a sense of well-being, and it gives gives you hallucinations. Okay, and plants, some more plants with this hallucinogenic properties are Atropa, belladonna, and datura. Atropa, belladonna, and datura. So, very important from examination point of view, you may get a question. Name some plants which have hallucinogenic properties. One is Erythrocylum coca, second one is Atropa belladonna, and the third one datura. So I'll show you the pictures of all the three. This is Erythrocylum coca, a coca plant, and this one is Atropa belladonna, and this one is datura. This plant is a common, very common here in Hooghly. You must have seen this. So datura is all these three plants. They have different parts of these plants. They have hallucinogenic properties. A question which you can expect for your exam. So that is all about the three commonly abused drugs. Which are they? Opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloids. Of these, opioids act as depressants, coca alkaloids act as stimulants, whereas cannabinoids, they are actually depressants with a stimulant and hallucinogenic property. Hope it's clear. So that's all about the three commonly abused drugs. There are some more drugs which are commonly, so this is the plant, poppy plant, right? Now this is cannabis sativa, and here you can see this is Erythrocylum coca, and this is marijuana, then this is hashish, and this one is charas. Sorry, ganja. So these are the different products. These three are the different products which is obtained from this plant. This is a poppy plant, that is Papaver somniferum, and this is Erythrocylum coca. Okay. Now there are some more drugs which are commonly abused. Now the first one is barbiturates. Barbiturates. Second one is amphetamines. Third one benzodiazepines. And the fourth one, lysergic acid diethylamide. All these are commonly abused drugs for various reasons. For various purposes, these are all abused. But all these can be used as a medicine in treating patients who suffer from sleeping sickness or insomnia or anxiety or depression. So these medicines, these drugs are used as medicines to treat patients with sleeping sickness and anxiety. Okay, so that is all about the commonly abused drugs. Now let's see what are the effects of smoking. You know what is smoking, right? Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. And when we studied about cancer, we studied that smoking causes cancer, lung cancer, and different types of cancer. Now, what does this smoke or the cigarette contains? It contains tobacco. Tobacco contains what? A chemical by name nicotine. It contains large number of chemicals including nicotine. Nicotine is the most dangerous one. It's an alkaloid. And how does this nicotine affect the body, or how does it causes when you smoke? What happens? The nicotine, what it does is it stimulates the adrenal gland. Last year you have studied about adrenal gland, right? What is adrenal gland? It is a gland which is found associated with the kidneys. So this adrenal gland secretes two hormones, that is adrenaline and noradrenaline. Hope you all remember last year what we have studied about this, right? They are both are called as emergency hormones. Why are they called as emergency hormones? Because they help us to overcome the situations they are produced or released during the time of emergency situations. Okay, so the nicotine stimulates the adrenal gland to release. There will be excess secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline, which raises the BP of the person as well as it increases the heartbeat rate. Okay, then as a result of that, not only that, this nicotine causes cancer of the lungs, it causes cancer of the urinary bladder as well as the throat. Okay, it also causes bronchitis, inflammation of the bronchi, that is called as bronchitis. Then emphysema, it is a problem, flexibility of the lungs will be lost, that is emphysema. Coronary heart disease, disease related with the heart, and gastric ulcer. So these are some other effects of smoking or the effects of using nicotine, right? Tobacco. Then not only that, this nicotine also increases the carbon monoxide content of the blood. The blood contains hemoglobin, which is called as a respiratory pigment. It helps in the transport of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So this nicotine instead of helping in the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide, what it does is, as a result of the presence of this nicotine, if nicotine is present, what happens is it increases the carbon monoxide content of the blood, and as a result of that it reduces the heme bound oxygen, the capacity of the hemoglobin to bind oxygen to it. Hemoglobin transports oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin. That is, the oxygen molecules comes and binds to hemoglobin. So this capacity of the hemoglobin will be reduced as a result of increase in concentration of carbon monoxide. Now, why carbon monoxide concentration increases? Because of the presence of nicotine. And from where this nicotine? It's from tobacco. So tobacco causes all these effects, like it causes cancer. Smoking causes cancer of the lungs, urinary bladder and the throat. It causes emphysema, bronchitis, coronary heart disease, etc. It also increases the carbon monoxide content of the blood and thereby reduces heme bound oxygen. Then the same is the case with chewing of tobacco. Chewing is also very injurious to health. Why? Because it causes oral cancer. There also, tobacco contains what? Chewing tobacco means you are taking in nicotine. When nicotine reaches your body, it stimulates the adrenal gland. The same effects. It stimulates the adrenal gland. It releases adrenaline and noradrenaline, and it which raises the BP and increases heartbeat rate. As a result of that, it causes cancer and other related diseases. So oral chewing or tobacco chewing is also very dangerous. It's one of the most common thing which we find nowadays, right? Especially in Karnataka, we find a lot of people have the habit of chewing tobacco. So we should not, as children, you should know the effects of this smoking and should not get involved in smoking. Even if you come under the influence of your friends or your or some others, you should not fall prey to their. You should not fall prey to them, and you should not start smoking. Once you start smoking or once you start using these drugs, you will get addicted to that. Okay, so that is all about drugs and the different types of drugs. So today we have discussed about what is a drug, what is drug abuse, what are the commonly abused drugs, and we have also seen what are the effects of smoking. In the next class we will see adolescence and drug abuse. Okay, hope you all understood this. Okay, thank you.